change of pace.
Welcome back to the Change of Pace podcast. This is Rohan, and I'm joined by Sai and Sahil. We're going to be recapping the first two games of the second round of the NBA playoffs. We know it's been a while, lots to talk about. We're going to focus on these series. I think in a future pod, we can talk about like the eliminated teams maybe in more detail. Couple things we will talk about, like Jamal Mosley. We can start off with him. After 5 years with the Magic, he was let go. Honestly, to me, it seemed like it was always going to happen given the regular season. It was just a disappointing regular season. They'd have had injuries throughout, but you just expected them to be better with Desmond Bane on the team. I think the first round, like a lot of people are saying, they showed what they could have been in the or they should have been in the regular season. And I think if Franz didn't get hurt, they probably beat the Pistons in 6 or 7. Um, but yeah, I think it seemed like a not mutual parting of ways, but Jamal Mosley did praise the franchise. He had a good time there, but they were never able to get past the first round. And at this point, like next year, like you got one scapegoat out of the way. If they don't do it next year, probably going to get rid of one of Paulo or Franz. So what do you guys think of that
Yeah, I
firing?
agree. I think blowing the 3-1 lead is definitely the last straw. I think he had a chance of staying if they want beat the Pistons.
And
Um,
they that huge fucking game six second half. That was like the
yeah,
reason
no, exactly. Like
that was
20,
that
23
can't happen, dude.
shots is
Yeah.
insane. But yeah, I mean, they never really kind of developed offensive cohesion. It was really built on like size, physicality. It felt like Bane was really important for them, but at the same time couldn't really figure out how to be his best version, in my opinion. Like wasn't really optimized for what his strengths in a lot of ways. And then, Suggs was really disappointing. I feel like they haven't really like Mosley wasn't really great at developing any of the young guys either. Like I felt like Anthony Black was probably the only like success story out of those guys. Everyone else was like a high draft pick, but like De Silva or like
Jalen Suggs was mid too. They're
yeah,
all
like
Jalen
Rich
Suggs had
Richardson,
oh, fuck.
Jet Howard, like all these like younger guys they drafted later in the lottery, none of them really panned out, and that's probably one of the reasons they lost because they're not a very deep team, super reliant on their stars, and like I think that's something that they can look for in their new coach, just trying to optimize those guys off the bench, and then just creating a much more cohesive offensive system that's not super reliant on just like Paolo 30 footers and Jalen Suggs shooting terrible shots. Like that's it's rough.
I agree.
I do think he'll be in pretty high demand though. I feel like, I mean, five
Yeah.
years, no playoff wins is pretty bad, but he did take a pretty young team to the playoffs in his first 3 years. And yeah, the 3-1 lead was definitely the last straw.
Yeah.
Um, but I do think he's a decent coach. I just think that this roster wasn't built for his strengths.
Yeah, I mean, let's not forget he was like top 3 in Coach of the Year last year, wasn't he? Or like two. Like he's been consistently in Coach of the Year talks the last couple of years. I think now they had real expectations. Like I think we all penciled him in for 50 win season. I think that was pretty clear because also we thought the East would be pretty shitty. Like we didn't think the Celtics would be good. The Sixers were a question mark, but like he's been good. He reminds me, when I was watching one of the games, they were saying JB Bickerstaff and Jamal Mosley are like really good family friends. Like they like go on vacations together and stuff. And they kind of look similar too.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I actually think they're very similar quality coaches. Like I think what Jamal, like kind of the reason why JB Bickerstaff was let go of in Cleveland was very similar to how Jamal Mosley and the Magic situation is being handled. And I think he could honestly have like a transformative year with another team. Like I don't know what team that'll be, but I still think he's a very like at the very least like a B tier head coach in the league. So I
Yeah,
agree.
I think JB's issue is that he was not good with playoff adjustments, and I think we've seen a similar thing from Jamal Mosley. Of course, now JB's beating up on the team that he couldn't make adjustments with, which is funny. But I think you'll see a similar thing with Mosley. I wouldn't be surprised if like he finds the right situation. He does seem like a guy who's like a lot like JB. He's like an inspirational coach. He's like firing you up more than he's telling you exactly what to do. I think it's really important with Mosley and Bickerstaff when it comes to like their actual staff.
I don't
It's
know.
like they're like 40
Or
like well sorry, I was gonna say they're like high ceiling, high floors, low ceiling guys, maybe like 45 wins in the regular season type shit, but in the playoffs you're not sure. I mean, JB's proving us wrong, I guess. But yeah,
yeah,
go ahead, Sai.
I was just gonna say, like, I'm not sure if these type of coaches might be in demand personally, because I just feel like the defensive focused minded coaches have just like kind of shown to not be real guys in the playoffs.
Yeah,
Like we've seen Udoka, uh, I mean Bickerstaff kind of flamed out of Cleveland very, very similarly, and then
Frank
now
Vogel.
with yeah, Frank Vogel's another one. Like now with Mosley, like I feel like teams are kind of looking for more well-rounded coaches or. I think offense comes at a premium in these playoffs. Like you're seeing, like this is like defense is super, super important in the playoffs. Obviously, like the defense is at such a high level with these eight teams that are remaining. But I feel like to get far in the playoffs, you need to have a consistent offense you can go to. And these teams that like have these coaches who kind of are like doing whatever offense, just hoping for the best out there, just haven't been able to succeed. Like you need real schemes, real adjustments, and those type of coaches are high demand, obviously, and they're hard to find. But I would more look for finding new coaches than kind of giving the same ones, like just rotating them around the league personally.
I kind of think
Yeah.
that he's going to go to the Pelicans. I feel like they're kind of in that group that like they're trying to break through and like they want to like find their way into the playoffs. And I could see. I think they even had some interest in him like last year or something. I might have made that up, but I could see that.
I could see the Blazers too, maybe if you would be willing to take like a 50% pay
Oh,
cut.
that's a really good one, actually. That's a good point. Yeah, if he takes a full pay cut, yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
Right.
he fits the defensive identity of the team, and like with Dame probably leading the charge. I don't know if there's and Denny obviously,
Yeah.
there's not like a huge like offensive infrastructure you need to build out. There's a defensive roster and kind of mindset already there with their vets. It makes some sense. But yeah, obviously, it seems like the new owner for the Blazers looking for like a college coach to pay as little as possible.
That guy from maybe that guy from Florida that the Warriors are looking at.
Right. He's
Connected
probably
the
more expensive than what he's looking for. He's probably looking for like a D2 coach at this point.
coaches, these college coaches, I think, make a decent amount of money, actually. Like, I don't know if the Blazers guy can afford it. Might have to look for like a high school coach.
That's what I'm
Shit.
saying, like D2 high school.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Rip Jamal Mosley. He'll probably find another job in the league soon. Let's move on to the Dallas Mavericks. They signed Masai Ujiri to be their new GM or president of basketball operations. They could use those interchangeably. Yeah. Moving on from they fired Nico Harrison, obviously. Masai does have a good history, most notably with the Raptors. I think like Masai from like 2015 to 2019, 2020 was widely regarded as one of the best GMs in the league. But to me, since then, he actually kind of fucked up the Raptors. I think he was unwilling to trade a lot of pieces for the longest time because he wanted to get like the best value out of them, similar to Danny Ainge. And yeah, that's why they parted ways at the end of the day. I think it's definitely better than Nico Harrison. I'm curious to see what he wants to do with the Mavericks. I'm not sure if they want to like lean into win now with Kyrie coming back off his ACL tear. I'm not sure what's going on with Clay if he's going to come back this summer. And then obviously you have Cooper. You're going to get a pretty high pick in the draft this year. So not sure what he's going to do. You're going to have a healthy Derek Lively next year too. I think you lean into development, but yeah, what do you guys think?
Yeah, I'm just gonna say like Masai probably has like the most perfect piece possible in Cooper Flag. Like for him as well, like a 6'8" forward, guard skills, has like really good defensive tools.
Yeah.
Like his ideal prospect. And now he can surround him with other guys who are, you know, of similar mold, I'd imagine. Like we've seen in the Raptors, like he's very defensive minded when he likes to draft. He's found a lot of like diamonds in the rough. Like Pascal Siakam was a big find. Like Norman Powell, like these guys off deep into the second round or late first round picks have proven to show real value for them. And like right before the draft, it's a perfect time to get a guy like that. And again, for a team that's not in contention yet and like kind of building up their roster, I think it's perfect sense to get a guy who's like developed all of these players, created like a roster, a deep roster, and has been willing to do make some moves in the past. Like the Kawhi Leonard is a risky move, and it worked out for them. He's been shown to be aggressive when it's necessary, and obviously, like he was a little attached to his old rosters, like traded Siakam too late, traded RJ too late. Um, and didn't really build around Scotty like what they're doing right now. And it took our not sorry, not traded RJ, traded OG too late. But I think for a team like that's like starting to build out with Cooper Flag, who's again very, very Masai coded. I think they're built for some success, and I think obviously, it's going to be better than Nico.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I agree.
yeah, I don't really have much to say on Masai, honestly, but it must be nice to pay Jakob Poeltl all that money and then just dip out when the going gets tough because I don't know what the hell they're gonna do about that contract.
Yeah, I think Masai, dude, I mean, he made some incredible moves in like 2018, 2019. That whole fucking roster, getting Marcus All, getting Serge Ibaka when his value was at an all-time low, Fred VanVleet development. I mean, I think all of that is huge. But yeah, since then, I think he's kind of floundered in the league. But
He
yeah, I
found
mean,
Colin Murray Boyles, so that's
hey,
a.
wait, did he?
I
Did
think
he
yeah,
not?
right before. Yeah.
Was he there when that happened?
Oh, maybe not. I don't know.
I
But
feel
I
like
mean,
he's been
very Masai
around.
type of player. He probably would have drafted him anyways.
Remember
Yeah.
when he left the Raptors. It feels like a while ago, but no, you can double check that. I have no idea. Okay. Yeah, we can move on to the last bit of news. You could take this one.
Yeah, the Bulls finally, after getting rid of AK, I forgot how you pronounce his name, but they signed.
Tora Konishibas. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Right?
Chris, yes. Um, they signed Bryson Graham as their new VP. He worked for the Hawks kind of under the number two under Ansi Sala, and then before that, he was an intern turned huge scout for the New Orleans Pelicans. So it seems like a very young guy. I think he's like late 30s, early 40s. Focused on defense and building a roster kind of from there. So hopefully, obviously you never really know with the Bulls. Their ownership situation isn't great, so like you're obviously limited there. But their drafting has been pretty poor for the last couple of years. Modest might be their only like real find over the last like 10, like 5 to 10 seasons or so. So hopefully, in this draft they're able to figure something out, and Bryson turns out to be a real GM and can stick around for longer than Garpax or AK.
Yeah, I feel like he's gonna want to get rid of Giddy just because like the way that he's drafted in the past. And I saw a lot of Bulls Chicago fans comparing it to Ben Johnson, which I thought was interesting. I don't know if it's the same, but I think they just see the young guy with some passion.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see how that goes. I think I saw something there. They said that they don't want to take on any like big salaries.
They have
So
a lot of cap space this offseason, so that's interesting. Maybe they're gonna go for the expiring contract, get some assets around instead.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. I mean, for Bulls fans, this is probably exciting, but you never know. I feel like they were really excited about the guy who drafted Jokic, and then that turned out to be pretty poor. So hopefully it turns out well for them. Sunday's coming very soon. Maybe they can get a high lottery pick and then kind of reroute their destiny there. All right, so let's move on to the playoffs. I mean, we haven't really talked about any of the first round matchups, which sucks because we had a lot of thoughts, but we just didn't have the time to really share them. But now moving on to the second round, we're going to start off with the series that just took place. We were watching Game 2 of Thunder Lakers, and Sal, what are your early thoughts about the series? It's 2-0 Thunder, both pretty decisive wins. I think both by 18 points. And again, they've been managing to slow Shai Gilgeous-Alexander down by just placing a lot of bodies on him, really aggressively doubling him. But the others have really stepped up, especially Chet Holmgren, AJ Mitchell, and I think Jared McCain has been really big for both of these games, just creating big runs when they needed it most.
Yeah, I think the first thing that pops off the screen to me is that the way that they're doubling Shea and then rotating along the back line reminds me of a lot of what they did against Ant. You saw it a little bit in the Rocket series when KD was playing, especially in game two, forced a lot of turnovers that way. The Thunder aren't the Rockets, so you don't get the same results. But I honestly, we knew that the Thunder were going to win this series. I don't want to speak prematurely, but that's the reality. We also knew a little bit. Well, we didn't know how the game would go, but I think we've seen from the first two games that the Lakers do come out with a pretty good game plan on how to slow down Shea. You want to force OKC into taking 3-point shots and hope they miss them. Um,
Yeah.
and the Lakers are definitely operating at a huge talent disadvantage. And for the first two games, through the first halves of each game, they've been able to keep up, I think, just off JJ Redick's game plan and the leadership of Smart, LeBron, and Reeves on some level. Just coming out aggressive, setting the tone. I think they easily, could have dropped off in the first quarter, find themselves in a 20-point hole, game's over. But they've been able to stick around. OKC is without J-Dub, so I mean, no J-Dub, no Luca. Um, and I don't know. I think that it'll probably be a sweep. But I think there's a lot to take. A lot of positives to take from the series for the Lakers, and I think for OKC, I mean, they look like a well-oiled machine. You're right, McCain is just he's how is Jared McCain on the Thunder? I'm still trying to wrap my head around that.
That the Sixers could fucking use him right now. You have Tyrese Maxey playing 46 minutes, and like you need another ball handler. And then this, what you get, you like, yeah. Sorry to cut you off. I mean,
No, dude, go
yeah,
for it.
I agree with everything you're saying. It just feels like the talent disparity it comes back to bite the Lakers in the ass. Like you just can't keep up. The Thunder just keep like you just have too many people off the bench. They just keep bringing more and more guys, and then the defense just fucking swarms. Like it's incredible. I mean, Alex Caruso has been huge. I feel like on both ends, in the first two games, and then I thought Lou Dort was pretty shitty today, especially. I think. They do like the Lakers are shamelessly doubling Shea, but it feels like the Thunder aren't like really making them pay as much as they could, and I feel like a lot of that is because Lou Dort is the one doubled off of, and you just fucking can't shoot. But it doesn't matter. I mean, Sai, you texted us in the chat. Like Chet has been amazing. He's been super aggressive, in going inside against Lakers team. So yeah, I've been super impressed by him as well. And then yeah, AJ Mitchell, like it's just bullshit. You guys have so many good young guards. Seriously.
Yeah,
Yeah.
AJ is so nice, and because they're doing this whole like double at the top and then the backline thing, it's trying to bait OKC into their ISO game, right? Like find a mismatch you like and then go for it, dribble much you want. Chad has been taking advantage of it, but they've been able to generate a lot of corner threes, which I think is kind of the reason that you see the Lakers kind of falter off late in the game because at a certain point, the efficiency of the corner three, especially with the shooters that OKC has, it'll come back to bite you, and it has through
Yeah.
two games.
Yeah. Also, I think the J-Dub, like not having J-Dub, it does kind of hurt. Again, not having that secondary playmaker when, like, I mean, you have AJ Mitchell, but in reality, it would be nice to have J-Dub in situations where Shea is doubled and you're not really getting like the best possible shot. Caruso has been big for you in that case, and then as is Jared McCain in getting his own shot. Um, yeah, not really sure what else to really analyze about this. I did see. The Thunder really somehow survived with Shea off the floor today. I think we pointed that out in the chat. I saw a stat Nate Duncan tweeted out. It was like 150 offensive rating with Shea off the court and a 50% offensive rebound rate. That is absurd.
Yeah.
With Shea off the court, your lineup looks something like AJ Mitchell, Jared McCain, Isaiah Hartenstein, like Lou Dort, and maybe Chet. I don't know if you're going double
Yeah.
big at that time, or like Jalen Williams. That's insane. The Lakers just don't
Yeah.
have the same size. They don't really have like LeBron or Ruiz at the four, and Aiton's fucking terrible. Today, 1 of 7 from the field, super soft. Just complaining. I remember like that, like offensive interference, whatever. He was crying. Yeah, I thought it was. Yeah, you guys are dominating inside.
Yeah, I thought especially in those possessions they were kind of resorting to just switching everything. They're like, we don't want to create any advantages for the Thunder, and then that's when they're such a good ball movement team, they can just pass around the perimeter, find those open threes, and that's what cost them. Like Chet Holmgren will get those like mismatches on Austin Reeves and just get an offensive putback. This team's really good at just like tipping the ball. Like as soon as it comes outside, Lou Dort just reaches out, goes up for it. Isaiah Hartenstein's really good at that too. Like a lot of the guards are just like really aggressive in tipping out those threes. Like once, and then we were missing a lot of them early on. So yeah, those offensive rebounds were huge. And then it's like you said, like especially the first game, I thought like OKC again, there's an inevitability with them when it comes to their runs.
Yeah,
Um, like they'll get a turnover. I mean, what I really appreciate about the Lakers is just the resilience in stopping these runs. Like every time OKC would go on like a 10-0 run or a 9-0 run, LeBron would hit a three, Marcus Smart would come back, get a good stop, and then Rui would hit another three. It's like they would have these constant plays of just like stopping it, but at a
yeah,
certain point, the dam just breaks. Like it's just so much pressure. Like Alex Caruso is everywhere, Kaysen Wallace is everywhere. He got a steal off an inbounds pass. Alex Caruso just every lazy pass that comes his way, he's grabbing it. You can't have any mental like falters with this team, and because of the talent disadvantage, but also like simply an athleticism disadvantage, you can't like make up those mistakes, right? If you're too slow to the ball, OKC's gonna get there first. Obviously the calls went a lot more their way. Like I'm not gonna disagree with that. We had a very good whistle today. And that also helped. Like the free throw differential was pretty big. For us, like when you're playing the Lakers, you kind of expect to lose that battle, but win all the other battles. And like also winning that battle today, just it's the icing on top. You really like we won both games by 18. This one is a lot closer of a game because
yeah.
we kind of pulled out right at the end. They made like a short run, kind of got it to like six, I think, late in the fourth or early in the fourth. But yeah, I mean, there's just you have to play a perfect game with this talent disadvantage, with this athleticism disadvantage, and then anytime you can't, and then OKC just takes like complete advantage, goes on a huge run, and then the game's over. And especially in the second half, like there's only so much you can do.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, any more analysis or thoughts on I think the Lakers can steal a game for sure. I don't think it's gonna be a sweep. I think it'll probably be gentlemen's sweep.
Really,
I'm
I don't
sure
know.
there's gonna be one game in LA where I think they're gonna get blown off the floor, the Thunder. I know that
Maybe
sounds
we could
crazy.
talk about Shea, right? Like he's averaging 20 points a game this season.
He
That's
hasn't really
that's
gotten
fucking insane.
free. Yeah,
Obviously, he's, getting doubled like crazy, but like even in the last series, I felt like there was just so much attention on him, but he was able to like get around of it.
yeah,
The something I like about the Lakers is they're putting their bigs onto the ball. Like they're a very big team, right?
yeah.
LeBron is big, like not even like height, which is what like Chet Holmgren was able to take on the glass, but like the size, the strength that they offer, like if Shea's trying to go this way and then like you have a big guy kind of standing up there, he just can't get around it. So like you have to make the simple read. I think he's a good processor. I just think sometimes he makes passes very slowly and that can create like opportunities for the Lakers to kind of
Yeah,
come back and recover. And I felt like that's where a lot of the mistakes came from, where we weren't getting the best shots possible.
yeah.
But at the same time, we also got a lot of good looks from corner threes, like you said, Sahil. Like Lou Dort got a lot of open corner threes. Chet got a lot of open corner threes. AJ Mitchell, even like everyone in that starting lineup is just gonna get shots,
Yeah.
and at a certain point they're gonna hit him.
It's
Yeah.
also just like you said, an athleticism disadvantage. I mean, you saw JJ Redick pull the Adu Thero lever just because
Yeah,
they're so starved for somebody who can actually go jump and get a board or you can just do anything, crash the glass, generate some type of rim pressure. But I don't know. I don't know if the Lakers can steal a game. I mean, I feel like they've shot the ball pretty well through two games, and these games haven't been close in the fourth
last
quarter.
game was pretty rough. I think they shot like 25% or something, but this
Okay.
one like they were shooting really well, especially Reeves, Rui.
Reeves finally came to play. Yeah, that
Yeah,
Reeves had a really good game.
yeah, 31, which
Yeah.
is crazy.
That's
Really,
his career high in the playoffs, I believe.
Is it
yeah,
actually?
Yeah.
yeah. I think his career high was like 23, which was his first game.
Yeah.
Against the Grizzlies, the I'm
Yeah.
him game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I remember that as a Rui game. I don't remember that as the Austin Reeves game. I don't. You're talking about 2023, right?
Yeah, yeah, game one.
Yeah, game one, Reeves came
After
out and he hit like a bunch of shots in a row, mid-rangers, things like that.
You don't remember the I'm him moment? Like he
no,
was.
no, I remember that, but I really want to pull up the score of the. I swear Rui Hachimura had a crazy game. I hope I'm right. Wait.
Rui's an underrated playoff riser, man.
Oh no, no, Austin Reeves had 20. Yeah, I guess so. Austin Reeves did have 23. Let me see that. I swear Rui was going insane in that game. Maybe I'm crazy, bro. No, Rui didn't even have a. What the fuck is wrong with me? I don't know why Rui had a
He
good
might
game.
not have been on the roster, low key.
No, he was on the team. This
Was
was 2023. Yeah, yeah. This was when they traded, like they
I
somehow
think
cleared house at halftime
it's
at
like a
trade
second
deadline
pick.
and got amazing players back for Russell Westbrook. They got fucking, I mean, Jared Vanderbilt was actually good at the time. They got Jared for him. I was so pissed. I was like, this is such bullshit. Like you can't just get this much value off garbage. I think they
One
got
less.
D'Lo as well.
I do want to. I feel like the only interesting thing about like talking about this latest series is just like maybe the coverage. I mean, we obviously talk about it a lot. I get very annoyed because when I open Twitter, which I love to do,
Oh,
especially like for
we all,
NBA basketball,
yeah.
I kind of just see hate. And again, maybe it's just my page because like you're obviously gonna like see all the hate that's coming to towards your team. Like, what do you guys think? Like, I mean, again.
I
We
think
are
I
not
saw.
an ethical team. I'm not gonna deny like, but like also I don't give a fuck. Like, who cares?
Yeah, I mean, you do give a fuck clearly, but like, I don't think it matters. Who
No, I
cares?
care. I care about the coverage because I feel like everyone hates my team
You're the
specifically.
best team. Like
No, no,
that's
I get that. I get that, but it's like any dude I talk to is like, "Hey, I'm a Thunder fan." It's like, ah, really? And
well, it's
it's
also
like the type of negative coverage my team gets, even though we're so fucking good. And like, I think we're fun to watch. I obviously we have terrible plays sometimes where we're like,
like
you're like, "What the fuck? Why'd you do that?" But like the fact that we can do this, like just fucking bomb a team, go on a
I
10-0
think
run, just kill someone. I think that's so cool.
I think the casual fan doesn't really care about the Thunder for two reasons. I think one is I think it starts with Shea, and as great as he is, I don't think anything to I think the basketball junkie like us sees what Shea does on a day-to-day basis, and is super impressed by his ability to create separation in the mid range, all these different things, get to the rim, get to the line, whatever. Even on the defensive end. But like I think the casual fan doesn't see the Steph threes and the LeBron dunks and like the Kevin Durant insane scoring. If anything, it's a little bit like Kevin Durant, but Kevin Durant being 7 foot. And the ability to shoot the ball like that, I think Shea doesn't have the
They
same.
love Kobe. They love Michael Jordan. He does very similar shit. And
Nah,
It's coolly, no offense, but it's just like
the
he's too
mid-range dunk
nonchalant,
mastery.
bro.
It's the it's
He's
the
too
it's the
nonchalant.
angle. It's
The
the
free throw
it's
rate
the
is the
footwork.
same. I get all of that, but he's just too nonchalant. Kobe and Michael, that fucking like the aggression there, I think that's what people are really drawn to. Again, this is the casual fan. I think the casual fan is stupid, but I'm just saying that's why. Like
also, they felt like they were like, I don't get the same killer vibe
Oh,
that
for sure.
Jordan.
he is still a killer, but it just you
He
don't get the
is.
vibe. Yeah, you
Yeah, I
don't
mean, we're comparing to like the biggest killers ever. Like, yeah, I mean,
nonchalant killer, bro.
But
Nonchalant.
like he's about to be the best. He is arguably the best player in the world, and he still doesn't have that grab to the casual fan. I think that's part of it. And I mean like this is maybe I feel this way more, but I think they get away with a lot of things. They're super physical on one end, but then they'll do some cheap shit on the other end, and they'll flop on both on offense and defense and get rewarded for it. I think just as a regular fan, I think that can frustrate a lot of people. And I
I
think
understand the
I saw
frustration for
I
sure.
saw Foot Locker today.
Yeah,
Foot
dude.
Locker's account posted, "This is crazy." I
That's
was
what I mean. We're free engagement, dude. Every time Shea posts like a minor flop, he got tripped on a DeAndre Ayton like thing and raised his whistle trying to get a shot, right? Because he thought he would get fouled. Again, he wants to make it a shot attempt. That's a very normal thing to do. You shoot after you thought you got fouled. And because of that, it's a flop and it's like 100K impressions on Twitter. You know what I mean? Like every single whistle is just like amplified and that's the only thing that's amplified. That's the thing to me. So like again, at the end of the day, we win by 20. It's like, bro, the only reason we win by 20 is obviously because the free throws, because that's all anyone ever sees. That's what I'm like, that's what annoys me because that's just so magnified to anyone else.
Like you know this is only because you guys are good. If like Denny Abdia probably has the same free throw rate as fucking Shea. No one, the only reason people give a fuck is because he's from Israel. But in reality, no one gives a shit because his team suck. Like he's not as
Yeah.
good. If his team was in the fucking playoffs every year, like Sai, regardless of whether Shea gets those calls or the Thunder like Lou Dort kills people, you guys are probably gonna win the game, right? So that's the fact. Like you're gonna win anyway, and people are upset with that, so they will point flaws at your victory, the same the way they do with all the illegal screens for the Warriors. We would have won regardless. Regardless if Draymond gets called those screens, we win the game. Okay, but after the fact, you're like, "Fuck." You know what? No, the only reason they won is because of that bullshit. Like, you know this. Like, it's not worth the conversation. You
I
know
wonder
this
because
way.
like
It doesn't matter. They're
maybe
idiots.
it's hard to see now because again, I wasn't like as active as a fan back then, and obviously I wasn't a Warriors fan. I was more of a Warriors hater, if anything. But like there's always like a retroactive kind of glaze, like where it's like, okay, now looking back, man, those teams are so fucking fun to watch. Now we have these bum ass OKC teams that just like foul everywhere, and like instead we used to have Steph and we used to have KD who could like do whatever. We were gods, and it's just like I don't anticipate that retroactive kind of, oh my God, this OKC defense is one of the best things I've ever seen. It's just like I feel like this infamy lives on forever and it's weird. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just like kind of stuck in it. But it just like it's hard to imagine people will look back at this Thunder era and be like looking at it positively just because of the amount of negativity surrounding it.
Warriors were more fun to watch than I don't think that's a debate. I think you can agree the Warriors. I don't know. I think it's like a pretty well known
They
thing.
would have the same arguments. They would be pissed that they had to watch the Warriors because of the
No,
moving.
no, no one was pissed about the actual style that the
I
Warriors
think they
play.
were because especially in the beginning, like the 3-point revolution, people were very averse to that at the same time.
People
And
were
it's like, why
avert. I
can't you
mean,
dive
but
to
it
the basket?
worked. It
For sure.
worked. It wasn't. No one found it boring after they saw it work. They just thought it was gimmicky, which it seemed
Yeah.
like at the time. And it's not what the Celtics did in like 2024. That shit was actually gimmicky. But the Warriors had like a very like the amount of threes they were taking for the time was a lot, but they actually had a very diverse offense. It was just Steph and Clay that really bombed those threes. Sean Livingston, Leonard Barbosa, they got downhill. Andre Iguodala got downhill. It was a very, very well balanced offense.
Yeah.
So if someone tells you that shit was boring to watch, or they say all they do is chuck threes, you know they're a casual. So it's not about. I'll tell you right now, as someone who was on Twitter back then and obviously followed basketball very closely back then, it wasn't. They didn't hate like they people loved watching the Warriors. Like the 2016 Warriors were an extremely entertaining team to watch because they got in transition and weren't just like shooting a bunch of stupid threes, right? We had mid-range snipers everywhere. I think the Thunder are not as fun to watch, and I think
I,
the biggest
I
problem,
can agree with that because this is the peak.
biggest thing, if Shea, and it's not his like what's he supposed to do? I don't. I'm not shitting on Shea. I'm just saying that like the casual fan is not a fan of Shea the way they were of Steph, and Steph
No,
made
for
people
sure.
feel a certain way because he changed the way the game is played. He was a short guy, and he just changed everything, and he was also very relatable. He had a family, all this bullshit, all this extra shit,
You see,
right?
Shea doesn't have the same appeal as these superstars. It's
I'm
a
not
fact of
comparing Shea and Steph. That's not my problem.
any of the superstars.
But I think
I'm
that
saying that the OKC defense, this is what I'm saying, right? The OKC defense is one of the best of all time.
yeah.
And I think the defense is incredibly entertaining. The way
But casuals don't care about defense.
Yeah,
maybe
exactly. We're
that's
talking about
it.
the
Maybe
casual.
that's it.
We're
Because
talking
I
about
just think like we get so many fucking fast break buckets that are just entertaining as shit to watch. We are locked down like so many entertaining defensive possessions where it's like, holy shit, they just swarmed and just killed like a player. You
we
know what I mean?
Warriors did that too, but no one talks about the fact we were a fucking elite defense for years. Top five defense every single
Like
year.
more and more
No one
entertaining
thinks
defense. That's what I'm just saying, like entertainment wise. Like I just feel like
we were super entertaining defensively. That's how we got out in transition in the first place. But it doesn't matter. Like Andre Iguodala, Andrew Bogut were huge. Harrison Barnes and obviously Draymond were huge. And Clay was like one of the best two-way players in the league. Like we were consistently a top five defense in that era. Like between 2015 and 2019, even 2022, we were top five defense. We just sucked on offense. We were consistently a good defense. The casual fan doesn't even know that probably. They think Draymond isn't a Hall of Famer. You're talking to idiots. Like you cannot take this shit seriously. But
Right.
yeah, the Thunder defense is fun to watch for us because we love the game. But for the casual person, who the fuck talks about the 20 like what casual fan talks about 2004 Pistons, right? The only reason they know Chauncey Billups is because he fucking was running a mafia poker gang.
no,
All
I
right.
think people talk about the Pistons. I mean, I
No,
think they
the
talk about the
NBA
team that
fans, real NBA fans talk about the
no,
Pistons.
people, real NBA fans are like, they're like, oh my God, the last time defense was fucking played was the fucking '04 Pistons. That's what they think.
That they're casuals then.
Well,
That's the
yeah,
point.
obviously. I mean,
No, I don't know. I think most people like if you actually go down in history, when was the last time a bad defense? Like I think maybe 2023 Nuggets might have been an average defense. I think that was like the only time you ever had a bad or an average defense. Lakers were elite in 2020. Bucks were elite. Warriors were elite.
I'm
Thunder,
just saying
Celtics. Everyone has been elite,
they're
but no
been
one
elite.
cares.
This is the
They think
best like I've ever. This is the best maybe of all time. I
but
think there are levels.
yeah, that's valid, but no one cares about the
No,
defense.
yeah, I guess it's just no one cares about
Yeah,
defense.
yeah, the casual fan just doesn't care about defense. So like
That's tough.
you'll
So we're
you'll
not like,
Players.
it's tough, but you're getting on the way to the second chip. Like
yeah, yeah,
it's a give and take. Like I wish my team was hated and I can win. My team sucks.
for sure.
Like, yeah, you can't take it seriously. No one, if you look back in history, even in the last like 15 years, no one points to the defensive, like people don't point to the defensive performances of stars in like the finals. They'll talk about the offense.
Well, yeah, but
Kawhi was probably like the last time someone gave a fuck. Oh wow,
even then, no, dude.
dropped 20, but he also locked down another player. When does
Oh, we're
anyone
like
say that?
2014 Kawhi probably.
2014.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Talking about 2014. That was like the last
Dude,
time
Iguodala, dude, right after.
he held LeBron to a 30-point triple double, like
Yeah.
less than 40% from the field though. But like yeah, like who the fuck? No one talks like Braun. I don't even remember how. Honestly, I was a kid in 2016. I watched every game, but I probably didn't analyze LeBron's defense. I'm not sure how it was in the
Okay,
2016.
Jalen Brown clamps on Luca. That's another case in this.
John Brad counts on Luca, but then they in reality they just looked at his stats and saw his efficiency was better than Tatum's in this game. Like I don't know.
Also, there was a couple like Jalen Brown possessions where it's like actually popping off the floor that Luca couldn't get the ball up, and Jalen
Yeah.
Brown's running him from half court and just taking it the other way and dunking it. I'm sure if the thing is also the Thunder have like so many like A+ defenders that like even Shea said it in something where he's like, "Who's the best defender?" And he's like, "If you want this, you get this guy. If you want this, you
Yeah,
want to get
yeah.
this guy." Right? Like they have so many guys that like there's not one great defender to appreciate. So I think they all just get overlooked together.
That's fair.
I don't even know. I feel like everyone knows that they're an elite defense. I just don't think people like the casual. I mean, I don't even know what casuals notice when they watch basketball, dude. Honestly, like I think they if they see the like
I'm
the
saying.
They
Lakers
just
stuff,
watch LeBron all. They'll look at him go back and forth, and no one else. They won't look at the basketball, just one player.
Lakers struggling to score. It's not because the Thunder's defense is good. It's because LeBron's washed. If they see that's literally what it is in their heads. I'm sure of it. We're like, oh wow, he sucks. Why can't he create separation? They don't think that the Thunder are just scrappy as fuck. They just think the Lakers suck. Whatever. This is way too much of the series talk. First series is gonna be a fucking it's gonna tweet, bro.
We've never had the discussion though. I just feel like it's a big
No, it's about. I want to know you're mentally okay, but like, no, it's not that deep. Like, this is a great position to be in. You should be happy that people hate your
I
team.
am, yeah. I know. I'm chilling. The thing is my mind is so past the series. I'm like I'm waiting for the Spurs on the other side. That's really it.
I
And
think
maybe
when it
that's
ratchets
response a
up,
little bit of me. Like the Lakers could like kick me in the foot and like just come back, storm back, win fucking 4 out of 5. But I obviously don't think that's happening. So like I don't give a shit. The only thing like that I'm thinking about really is just like what I'm seeing on Twitter and then waiting for the Spurs at this point.
they've just faced no adversity since, and I think part of it's the Halliburton injury in Game 7, where people were just like, okay, this is bullshit. Then they just kind of cruise through the season, being great the whole time. Sweep the Suns, will sweep the Lakers. I think when they have to face somebody like Wemby, who the casual fan understands as like this alien that's like come down to earth and like change basketball forever, then they go on if they go on and topple Wemby, I think then they'll get some respect from the
That's
cat.
fair. Yeah, that's fair.
I hope so. But I wouldn't be thinking about Wemby right now. I'd be thinking about Donovan Mitchell and James Harden, bro. That's your next the biggest adversity you guys are gonna fear. I mean, dude, look inside. Don't you think he wishes people were talking about Evan Mobley the way they are about Shea? Fuck Evan Mobley, fucking bitch. Overrated ass fucking bitch.
Well, Kevin O'Connor still talks about Evan Mobley like that, even
Look,
though
Connor's a fucking weirdo, bro. He's like the weirdest like Elon dick rider I've seen on Twitter. Oh my God, I cannot stand that fucking guy.
he's no, he's terrible. I don't know how you get personal about
Like,
Evan Mobley.
It's
six
weird.
stocks.
He's personal about the
Six
Kings too. Like
stocks.
he had one random
Good.
thought on the
He was
Kings.
good defensively. He
He
did
was
his
good
job
defense.
there. He's not
No,
James Harden.
it's just that sometimes people go like, there's no reason. Like they take it. They're like their gripes start off on the court, but then after people get mad, they'll start taking it personal.
Yeah, yeah,
Anyway, yeah, let's move on to dude. It's been like 30 minutes talking about the same bum ass series. Let's go to the Cavs
He'll be
Pistons.
quick. Yeah.
yeah.
No, maybe quick. Go ahead, Sal. What do you think? Cavs go down 0-2. Similar story for both games. You guys get off the terrible starts. You were what? I think you had like 3 turnovers to start off the game or something. You couldn't
Six
hit
in the
a
first
shot.
quarter. Yeah.
Yeah, couldn't hit a shot. Harden, I saw this really funny possession. I wasn't able to watch this part live, but I saw like in the fast break, Harden had like a layup and came back around and lost the ball to Ron Holland. Ron Holland, very good defensively. Impressed by him. Yeah. So what are your thoughts on the series so far? You haven't the away team hasn't won a game yet, so
Not
series has
serious.
started.
Not serious.
Series hasn't started, guys. Thanks.
It's not starting.
Let me throw some stats at you guys. This is the fourth time in 9 playoff games that Harden has had more turnovers than field goals this year. This is the 46th time in his career that he's had as many or more turnovers than field goals. That's more than 25% of his career playoff games. So at a certain point, I've thought a lot about this, and he's kind of just who he is. He's told us who he is through his career. The Cavs still decided to trade for him, but the reality is now it's even worse because he's old and he's slow. He can't create any separation. We've seen through it. This has been a very educational series or 9 playoff games for me because I've started to understand a lot about James Harden's career. And one thing I realized is that I think the reason that you see these like drop offs through series in his career, especially like Game 6 Harden and things like that, is that I think teams get used to his tendencies. That's why he always gets worse through a series. Now it's just exemplified early because this is an even more physical series. They went on a huge run in the third quarter because they just played fast when he was off the floor, and that's the Cavs' identity, right? Like that's how they should be playing. That's how they were historic offense last year, just playing fast. And now they've decided to play this hardened, slow ball where they're creating absolutely no advantages. He's trying to grift his way to the free throw line. He's
Yeah.
kills the ball. He's throwing one-handed passes all the time. Udonis Haslem on Prime Video said the things that he's doing are things that I would take my son out of the game for
Wow.
in his games, right? Like he can't beat anyone in ISO. He needs the floor space to do anything, and the Cavs play two bigs, and then that's only on offense. On defense, that was game two was probably his worst defensive game of the postseason so far. He couldn't stay in front of anybody. He didn't do anything on the glass, and he just looks so disinterested, and that's the most frustrating part of it. I think is that. I understand. I don't think Garland would have helped. in these physical series. Like he was had 9 toes last year. He looked okay with the Clippers. He looked good with the Clippers this year. But one thing about Garland is that he always gave 110% effort, and I think Harden he just he feels he feels like he just doesn't care. The only time you even see emotion out of him these days is if some guy like comes in like bumps him on the shoulder, and then he'll like push them away, like he did Ron Holland or whatever, and he'll be like, dude, get off me. And then or like Duncan Robinson in game one, like get up to his face.
Duncan Robinson. Why the fuck couldn't he score on Duncan Robinson?
Because he can't create any separation, and he's so I think he's lost so much confidence. I don't know. He can't score. He can't shoot. And he didn't get one layup today. I mean, he only made 3 shots. I want to know the numbers, but I don't think he's made that many layups at all. He can't get to the rim. So, um,
Pardon?
what do you
I
guys think? Yeah.
I sent this article. It has some really, really interesting stats from this game. I want to outline a few of them because you're talking about getting to the rim. Donovan Mitchell took 24 shots today, 0 of them at the rim.
Mhm.
That's absurd, right? And I feel like Isaiah Stewart hasn't even been his full self in this series. Like I
There
feel
were
like
I know he had a couple. He had like one or two layups like in transition. They were like kind of fading away, so they weren't like layups.
Hmm.
But yeah, Donovan's definitely just been getting to the floater, and it's been efficient. Like he's been pretty good with the floater in the last 2 games.
Yeah,
But that's not the same rim pressure.
yeah,
It's not
no,
the
it's not.
same.
Yeah, and then Evan Mobley had 1 rebound today. I didn't even peep that. That's crazy. Yeah, 1 out of the 47 rebounds. I wanted to actually give some love to Cade real quick. Fourth player in NBA history to score 20 points or more in his first 15 playoff games, joining Kareem,
Wow.
AD, and LeBron. So yeah, pretty insane. It's not that he's even been super efficient this series, but it feels like you guys, again, your backcourt depth, your backcourt size, both the starting backcourt and the bench backcourt in Keon Ellis and Dennis Schroeder is just too small
Mhm.
to guard this team. Like the Pistons just feel more physical um, for you guys. And Tobias Harris has been playing really, really well too, which is kind of disturbing to see. Yeah.
One thing I felt like I noticed from both games is just like you guys started off really rocky. Offensive rebounds, I felt like were a huge problem in the first half of both games. And then the second half is like when you woke up. And it feels like it shouldn't be that hard to engage your big guys to rebound. Or like, why does it take so long to engage them until the second half, until they've been
They
beat?
don't get the ball on offense, and they're not engaged in the first place at all.
Right. Like it feels like Jared Allen like picked up like he was great in the second half, and I felt like he was like a big part of why they came back. Um, But
Uh,
like another thing is the Pistons have shot like crazy in like the last 2 games. Like this is the best they've shot any of those Magic games except probably Game 7. So you'd have to think a little bit of that is fluky, but they also look so confident shooting the ball.
Cavs defense is not as good as the Magic's though.
Well,
That's like
that's definitely
something,
true. But at
right?
the same time, like 50%, I think they shot like 44% the last game or something.
Yeah.
Like Duncan Robinson just pulling up from like three lines, three like at the hash line, like
They're in Detroit too. It'll come down to earth in
They
Cleveland.
have 3 buzzer beater threes, bro.
Yeah. No, yeah. You guys have to win the minutes when Cade is on the bench. Like Dennis Jenkins could not be
That's
dominating you
that's
guys.
the that's actually one thing I wanted to point out. Like the Magic stopped their third option. Like they made sure it was a 2 option game. Tobias Harris and Cade Cunningham basically were the only 2 options that entire 7 game series. Dennis Jenkins didn't do shit until like maybe a couple games in yeah, game 7. Until game 7. But he's been like great for the like every time he's been on the court, he's been a positive for the Pistons. And like if that's the case, obviously, he's just attacking hard, and it feels like a lot of the times he's getting really good shots like from three, and he's making a lot of these mid-range jumpers he just wasn't hitting. But at the same time, I just feel like there's no one. You don't have like guard size who can really like muscle up defenders. Like Keon Ellis is kind of slight. He would have been a guy you would think would be that type of player, but there's no one on that team who's like maybe Schroeder too. Like he could kind of be that guy, but it feels like there's no one who can really muscle up these like make them uncomfortable. Like no one on that roster can really do that.
Yeah, one thing about the Cavs defense is not going to make you uncomfortable. You might be like, okay, they have some rim protection with Mobley and Allen, but I mean, you'll feel comfortable right off the gate. Can I just rant about Kenny Atkinson for like a minute here? Um, and I think it's part of the overall makeup of the Cavs, which why the trade made no sense in the first place. But Kenny Atkinson has insisted on starting Dean Wade with the core 4 players.
Yeah.
But Harden is old and he creates no separation. So he needs the floor spaced, right? Donovan is a below average passer. So when the floor collapses, he can't make reads. He's 6'1". He's shorter than Sai. He can't make any reads either, right? And then you have two bigs that are treated as non-shooters, obviously Allen and Mobley a little bit. I mean, he's been decent from three in the playoffs, but teams will let him shoot every time. Then you have if you throw in Dean Wade, who's 26% on open threes in the playoffs this year, that's another non-shooter that like teams are okay if you Dean Wade wants to shoot threes all day, right? So now what does that do when you have the two guards out there with Wade, Mobley, and Allen? The floor is super cramped. You're trying to force passes, turnovers in a cramped offense, right? I think that's why like I just don't understand why. And I really, if I know anything about basketball, like they need to start Jalen Tyson in game three, and your off-ball defense might take a hit. All three of them can be okay off the ball. Jalen's really good on decent on ball. But you need some type of playmaking or somebody who they can't just leave open in at the three. And I just even Struce, fine. I would rather start Jalen, but even Max is fine. Max has been better off the bench, but I really wish I could just sit in on one of these like Cavs coaching sessions and just see like what is the rationale here? Like genuinely, what are we? What are there reasons? Are they looking at numbers? Because all the numbers point to going away from Wade in the starting lineup. And they did it again in game two. They'll probably do it again in game three.
I feel like there has to be a shakeup in game three. I think they probably I'm sure they will. But my thing is that you just don't have enough two-way players because your offense suffers with Dean Wade on the court, but your defense will take a hit. Again, like you said, the off-ball defense suffers. Duncan Robinson has been killing you guys. That's a big deal, right? Even Tobias Harris is excellent off-ball. So like that's what you're trading, and it's probably worth it to like take a chance and rely on your offense succeeding more. But we could be in the same situation, the opposite situation, down 0-3 because these guys got even more loose and because you didn't have enough size to guard Cade. And Jalen Tyson, he's definitely not as big as Dean Wade, but he's not slight either.
He's a better Cade defender. Cade doesn't like when guys are up into him, and Wade is just kind of playing him back and like trying to force him into like tough shots. But it's like that's not really how you want to make Cade uncomfortable. Another couple things with Kenny Atkinson, which is why I have such an appreciation for JJ Redick, and it just feels like his feel for the game is there. Like he understands which levers to pull at which different times, and which is why you see an undermanned Lakers team competing with an almost healthy Thunder team, at least for three quarters. Because small things like opening up game one against Cade in a deep drop. Do you want him to bust you for 50 points? Like, because he will if you keep playing a deep drop. His rotations, oh my God, guys. Donovan Mitchell has not played 40 minutes except for one game this season, this in the playoffs against the Toronto Raptors in overtime. Then
Yeah.
he barely reached 40 minutes. Why is he refusing to play his guys heavy minutes? It's the fucking playoffs. I just don't understand. There's no creativity in the offense. We're down six with 2 minutes left, and we have an ATO play, which is a single screen for Mitchell at half court. Then he ISOs Cade Cunningham. I'm like, I've watched. I go to Warriors games for a living, and I watch Steve Kerr drop beautiful ATOs. Kenny Atkinson literally coached under Steve Kerr, and that's what you come up with in a playoff game. I don't understand. He even had a point where he was going offense defense, and there was a stoppage where he was bringing Wade in for defense, and there's a stoppage, and he just doesn't bring Wade in for defense. I don't understand. Donovan Mitchell was hot to start this game. TV timeout after 5 minutes. Donovan Mitchell's on the bench. It's 5 minutes in the playoffs.
He's learning from Steve Kerr, obviously. I mean, that's the same shit Steve Kerr does for Steph.
It's so dumb. Like, is there no feel for the game? Your guy's hot. You don't have to marry to your rotations. It
This is
feels like Kenny
crazy.
Atkinson draws up a chart of like his rotations, and he's like decided like we have to do this. And then I see Mark Daigneault on the side looking like a absolute mastermind, where he's like think out games like all these different things you can see going through his head. And Kenny Atkinson, one thing about Kenny Atkinson is I hope you guys like next time you watch the game notice this. He like rarely ever is standing up. I watched the Lakers game, and JJ and Mark are just standing up the whole time. Mitch Johnson is damn near playing defense with his team, with the Spurs, and Kate Atkins is sitting on the sideline. They cut his face, and he's saying nothing. There's no communication. I feel like since they traded for Harden, sorry, I'm ranting a little bit here, but I feel like when they traded for Harden, like they just decided like, oh, like Harden is high IQ, he'll like communicate and whatever. Harden barely talks, even on defense. He'll move around without saying anything to anybody because he's lazy. There's just like no communication. They're not saying anything. Even when they run sideline out of bounds plays, they don't call anything. It's just like just try to get the ball in. It's the most like mind, and he's gonna be fired after. after this year. There's no doubt in my mind. So I mean, we might only have like 3 or 4 more games of Kenny Atkinson, but God, I don't know they got to play fast. Pace brings opportunity. This is
Yeah.
why Harden made no sense in the first place.
Also,
Yeah, I was just going to be a little bit of a devil's advocate in the sense that I think, I mean, it feels a little doomerism. Obviously, you guys are out down 2-0 in two very close losses, which sucks in the fourth quarter where you come back and you make it a game and then the Pistons, pull it out at the end. I will say again, shot horrible from three both games. You're going to shoot better at home. Like they say, the series hasn't started once the home team.
But they can't win on the road. They can't.
Right. Which sucks because obviously you don't have home court. Another thing is I just feel like you match up very well with this team. Like
We do. We
yeah,
do.
like you've shown that in the regular season. The fact that Mobley can just be in the paint like has really disturbed a lot of their offensive process. They have to settle for a lot of threes, which is not what they typically do, and they've obviously been making a ton of them.
lucky,
I just
bro.
think it's the tertiary guys. Like strapped Jalen Duren again. Like he was struggling against Mobley. He was struggling against Allen. He can't get his own shot. It's really just like, can you make enough plays to stop Dennis Jenkins from being comfortable? Yeah, that's possible. Duren might just suck too. And can you make it so Tobias Harris isn't just like able to ISO on Donovan Mitchell late in the clock and just turn around fade? Like you just got to fix the simple things. And yeah, it's fair to kind of be down on what Atkinson's capable of with these adjustments, but I don't think you guys are too far off in any way. Just start off these games by like just rebound the ball in the beginning of these games, hit
And
some
don't
threes.
hand it to them either. Just don't
Yeah,
hand
that's
Start
that's
off.
probably the biggest thing. Like they really shut down the turnovers. Like if they can keep that up, the second half they were super clean on turnovers. They probably had like three at the end, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And like the third quarter they didn't have any at all, and that's when they came back. Just control the possession game a little better in that first half, and then just hit some shots. Like they'll get there.
This was the series that I was like most confident in about from the Cavs, even over the Raptors. I was like, I really feel like we can match up with Detroit really well.
Yeah.
And they just don't get the big in game one. Mobley had 23 touches, Harden had 47. Mobley had 14 and 5, 14.5 assists on 23 touches. That's really good. He just doesn't get the ball. Like they gotta give him the ball, play with tempo, and play with pace, and they just don't do that because Harden needs to pitter patter and then give the ball to Duncan Robinson.
Yeah, 0 for 11 in the fourth from three. Harden minus 15 for the game. You guys are stuck in the fourth quarter for some reason. They also went 4 for 6 from three in the fourth quarter. That shit's not happening. Again, just tighten up around like the turnovers, like Sai said, and starting off the game strong. This has every indication of you guys winning the next two and going back to Detroit for a game. Like we all know this is
Knock
gonna
on
happen.
wood.
Knock on wood.
Uh,
Knock on wood. But like it's so fucking obvious. It's like every Cavs series. This looks just like every other Cavs series.
why
It's
can they not shoot on the road? What's up with that?
That's true. Yeah, I don't know. This was an atrocious shooting game though.
That like a mental toughness thing? Because they're now 4-12 in the Donovan Mitchell era on the road.
I did feel like their offense also stagnated a lot. I mean, just when it slows down, it's like half court possessions are not the strong suit against a Pistons like this great of a Pistons defense. So
I feel like the
like you
fourth
said,
quarter offense for you guys always in games just seems to
They
struggle.
can't get the ball into the big, so it turns into like the guards just like chucking up some bullshit.
True. Yeah, it does feel like you're not generating good looks at all. And every
there were
single
some good looks at the end though, but like Mobley had an open three to tie the game. Just brick.
Yeah, but it's
Like
like, do you really want
that's
him?
what
Like,
you want exactly. Like
that's
you
the
know
case
what was capable of
with
doing.
your roster though. Like what's the other option? You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, there's only so many guys who will,
Would have generated a wide open dunk under the rim.
yeah,
Jalen Tyson doesn't play the last like 8 minutes of this game.
yeah, not ideal.
Should we move on, or I'm gonna like lose my
Yeah,
mind.
yeah, no. Let's
Move
go
on.
to the next. Let's go to Knicks Sixers.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, Knicks Sixers, really good game last night. Last night. Knicks took it late. Sixers were up, I feel like a lot of the game, or like it was a very close game throughout. They came off to a really hot start and then just completely fell flat in the fourth quarter. I think BJ really struggled in the fourth quarter. Paul George started off super hot and didn't really do shit in the fourth quarter either. Shout out Dominic Barlow. This game was without both Joel Embiid and Mitchell Robinson. Um, and then, of course, at the very end of the game, OG Anunoby gets hurt. He's out with like a right hamstring, I think, injury. Yeah, so that's like really tough. I'm not sure. Has it come out the
He's day to day.
day to day? Okay, that's a
and
good
his hip too.
Right.
sign. Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, it's like a huge loss for the Knicks if OG is out. I feel like now that you've gotten these two, not to get super ahead of ourselves, but now that you have these two games, you could totally just rest him like you don't really if you win one in Philly, you're chilling, right?
Yeah.
So it's not terrible, but he has been like arguably their second best player, even though Cat has been incredible in the playoffs so far. I keep seeing people say like ever since he came in Devil Wears Prada too, he's been like killing it. I mean, he is what another high assist game for him, I think. He's kind of been like their hub, like a Sabonis type, enjoying himself there. So he's been really good. And then Jalen Brunson, after a rough start to the game, kind of has a good fourth quarter. But I think this is mostly just the Sixers falling flat in the fourth offense. They just couldn't hit their shots. And it's like a really, really, really tough loss for them.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think the first game, a lot of it was just kind of a hangover. The Knicks were amped up after, they had a long rest after, destroying the Hawks. Their starters were resting halfway through that game anyways. And then now they're going into that first game just super energized. Sixers obviously fall flat because they're coming off of game seven with the Celtics. That really took a lot out of them. And Embiid seems like he was playing through injury, and then it just was kind of accumulated to too much, which was why he couldn't play game two. And then, yeah, I thought really what was the story of game one was just Maxey struggling as much as he did. They were really able to kind of trap him and create turnovers off what are typically just Maxey give and goes with Embiid and just him able to drive downhill. And I feel like they've been really good at just trapping and containing in the paint and making sure that like they'll like extend their pressure out, but then as soon as they do, they're able to like if anything comes into the paint, they're able to get there too. It's very malleable in the sense that like it's north to south, north to south. Their defense is really good at like moving up and down.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think another thing I've really liked is obviously OG's been exceptional. So his loss, if he's out for a couple games, that's really big. But Mikal Bridges has really like opened up his
So
offensive
good.
game,
Yeah.
really aggressive. He's found Maxi like to be like Maxi's been guarding him most of the time, and I feel like he's doing a really good job against him. And then that first game, like Brunson was just so good and such a great shot maker. I don't think that's going to happen every game. Maybe he's just like that in the playoffs. Maybe he's just like an insane shot maker.
Like
But
an
he's playing up against some good defenders like Oubre, George, Grimes. Like these are good defenders. So I expect him to struggle a little more. I expect Maxi to do a little better. The real X factor for the series for me is obviously, if Embiid gets healthy. But another thing would be just VJ. I feel like when they play good, he plays good. When the team plays good, when he plays bad, team plays bad. It really kind of goes by him and his 3-point shooting. And he had a decent start to the game, so that really kind of keeps the Sixers up with the Knicks, like the just pacing their offense.
I thought one adjustment they made in game two was they put VJ on Brunson, which I really liked. I liked that matchup a little better than Oubre, even though Oubre's a little taller. I think VJ just has like a kind of herky-jerky defensive game that kind of can throw a guy like Brunson a little bit off. Brunson was still good, but he shot 9 for 21, and if you have a guy that good shooting 9 for 21, you kind of have to live with it.
Yeah.
Um, and like Rohan mentioned, Barlow, I mean, he looked really good, and I think he played like 13 minutes or
He
something like that.
hasn't missed a shot this series, I think. He's like 6 for
Yeah,
6 for the two games.
that and he looked like he could actually switch on to Brunson a little bit, and like Brunson had a tough midi over him, but there were a couple where he stifled him. I thought Philly found some stuff in that game. They shot 9 of 15 on corner threes. So I think they have shown the ability to get their offense going, especially when they play with that Embiid. There's this tempo going. That I don't like playing Maxi 46 minutes and 48 seconds. I just think that like it feels like he's trying to pace himself a little too much, and like he did take 23 shots, but like it feels
That's not enough. 23 shots. It feels like he was like not
It
super
was
at
almost a third of the shots though. It seemed like a low pace
it
game.
just feels like a little pick and choosy from him about like I'd rather just get like this like 40 minutes of this full on maxi ball rather than like him pace through 47 minutes. I just like I don't know. Then it's hard if he goes to the bench. I don't really know.
They need another guard. I mean, it sucks that they traded away one mid-season, really, but
Yeah,
it would have been a perfect player. Like again, there's so much on Grimes. They have three backup guys, and especially with Embiid out, they're a strict 8-man rotation. So
and Grimes has
He's
been
literally the only guard that they can play other than VJ.
I
And
don't
it's
hate Maxi being like not like right out the gate super aggressive just because you expect him to get it going versus someone like Paul George or VJ. It's nice to have them start the game hot or Kelly Oubre as well. He played really well.
yeah.
Nice to have him start the game hot because you just expect their best player to get going whenever he wants. It's kind of like not to bring the Warriors comparison again, but like that's kind of how Steph operates. Like you kind of want your other like supporting pieces who are good like Clay to get going early in the game, knowing you're good enough to just get it going whenever. But yeah, these guys, someone like Paul George isn't good enough to just flip that switch because I think he went like 0-5 in the fourth quarter after starting
And
off with
he came off so hot, but like you kind of we all kind of
with
thought
that.
like realized like he was gonna slow down at some point. He's just a little too old at this point, I think. The Knicks look good though. I mean, like even without Mitch Robinson, like
The offense is
how Cordy came in was decent.
Do you
You know,
think they start Barlow at the five if Embiid's out? Like just
I
go as
think
fast
the
as possible.
Drummond rooms weren't bad, but I think they should start Barlow.
Okay.
Barlow's switchable, and even Bona is honestly switchable. But Barlow has had a good 2 games,
I
so
think it's just the speed they can play with Barlow.
Yeah.
Like with Cat, he's kind of sluggish, and that's kind of the only weak point. Like especially if OG's out too, and I don't know Mitchell Robinson's injury status too. I think he was sick, so he's probably only out for like a game. But if
yeah.
there's like they're probably gonna go like Deuce if OG's out. I feel like you can definitely just try to run on them, try to be physical.
I
Uh,
don't mind starting Bona either, honestly.
yeah, that's fair.
And Cat are starting. Barlow's already kind of undersized. I would be kind of worried about the double big versus Barlow. And who is the four for the six? Is it Kelly? Is Kelly
It's
big?
Paul George, basically.
Yeah, Paul George or Kelly, whatever. Like that, I don't know. I don't know about that because you're sacrificing. Yeah, the Knicks are losing size in like the front or the backcourt, but like their front court is huge compared to the Sixers. So
Yeah, I mean that's what a big advantage they were able to take with the Hawks too. Like just having Cat space you out, and then just they can attack cutters. The paint's wide open.
Cat's really playing well, man. He
Yeah.
looks very comfortable out there.
He just looks decisive. I feel like
Yeah,
he understands where he's gonna get his shots, and like he's not jacking threes at like random times. He's like,
as much. I feel like his fouling has been under control since
yeah.
joining the Knicks,
He
man.
was in foul trouble in game one. I don't
I
know.
think yeah, a little bit of game one, also a little bit in game two, but like
Yeah. I
not
feel like
enough to where it's a problem.
That was bad in Minnesota.
oh wait, game two, he actually didn't play like most of the second quarter because he picked up a really stupid foul.
Yeah.
And that's why the game was like semi-close, but in the third he was pretty dominant.
Yeah.
I feel like they've had like three top 15 playoff players so far, like legit. OG, Brunson, Cat, just been
Yeah.
outstanding, all three of them.
OG would be a big loss, especially in if they want to beat Detroit, which or probably
Right.
Detroit.
Hey, don't say that. Hey, game the series hasn't started yet, so let's talk about
Sorry, yeah, series hasn't started yet.
it. Even this series hasn't started yet. Like,
I mean,
relax.
honestly, if you want to be the Cavs too, you probably need OG. So I mean,
Okay, for the Sixers, I feel like they've been done better on the road though, especially against the
yeah.
Celtics. I think
Celtics.
they're better
Yeah.
on the road team.
Wait, I wanted
Hey,
to say
there's an agenda. There's an agenda though.
clearly. Um, what did I want to say about this series that I totally am fucking blanking on? Mikal has been good. What else? Damn, I totally lost my train of thought. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry, I guess. Go ahead.
Brunson has a big head.
Brunson does have a big head. That's fine. No, fuck. I totally forgot what I was gonna say. Wow, that sucks. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we could, I mean, is there anything else we can move on to last series then? Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Let's go to Timberwolves, Spurs. First game, fucking fire ending.
Mhm.
That was
The
good.
Spurs obviously lost, had a chance to win it. I guess we kind of disagreed on the quality. I mean, the quality of the shot they got was good, but I
Yeah.
just think you have like 7 seconds. Why not draw up a play for Victor Wembanyama? And even again, Champagne got a good shot. Whatever.
Yeah, I think one of the reasons was I think Naz Reid was on the floor and Gobert wasn't. So it's like you don't have Gobert on the floor. That's a big win for especially guarding Wemby.
Wemby caught the ball though off the rebound and looked super confused. He barely made up the
Yeah,
floor.
everyone thought they were gonna call timeout. I think
Yeah,
everyone thought,
no, for sure.
except just Champagne or Julian Champagne.
Harper too was like
Yeah, he was confused. And then
I
definitely
think I
later.
think in game two, the biggest adjustment was that they decided to start double teaming Randall in the post and pretty much a lot of all over the floor.
That looked like shit. Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of threw the Wolves off because I think in the first game they weren't doubling them, and one of the Wolves' advantages is that they have just a ton of size at every position, and I think that yeah they have a ton of size at every position, and so like Randall was able to win his matchups, get to that like 6 to 10 foot pull up jumper, and McDaniels, Reed, like they're all big guys, and I think that um by doubling Randall, that makes them passers, makes them lean into their weaknesses a little bit more. And I think that's why in game two it was around.
I think another thing was more impressive was their offense. I mean, they scored 133 points. The first game they scored like 107. So they were just able to get out on the floor. I thought obviously Fox played horrendously in the first game. He was a lot more comfortable,
Yeah.
just less assertive and trying to like do whatever he can for the offense and just like a lot more spreading the ball, just creating open looks for others, especially just speeding up the game. I thought helped a lot.
Mhm.
And, I thought Wemby was like a good non-aggressive. Like I felt like he jacked a lot of like unnecessary threes in the last game. He still does, shot 2 for 7 from this one. But the fact that they were just like so willing to go in with pace and running a lot more pick and roll with Wemby, just like hoping to lean on his gravity a lot more. They're an unstoppable team, dude. Like when they're all their like top six or top seven play really well, like they did. Just like they're going to score 130 points. Wemby's going to shut down the paint. The other team's going to have to shoot really well for three, which Minnesota did not. They shot 9 for 30, and then the first game they shot 37% or 38%, which is good enough. Like that's good enough to win. But otherwise, it's really tough to stop them.
You know what was funny is after game one when he had 12 blocks, which is like the most since like 1970 something,
Yeah.
um, the Wolves came out and were like, "Oh, like we're just gonna keep going at him. It doesn't matter. Like
Sure said
gonna
that.
box him." They shot 34 shots at the rim in game one, and game two they shot 15. So I think there was a bit of bluffing there where they didn't actually end up going back to the rim, and I think that ultimately they couldn't get any rim pressure.
Right.
I think, like you said, the start was huge. Anthony Edwards said they came out cool. The Spurs came out with actual aggression and intention with the way they played. De'Aaron Fox obviously played well. They got out in transition a lot. The game was basically over after like mid second quarter. It was basically cooked.
Is Anthony
Um,
Edwards gonna start any of these games?
he has to start game three. There's no shot they continue bringing him off the bench. They might as well have fucking rested him in this game. He didn't play well. Io looked terrible too. He didn't make a shot.
Yeah.
Hey,
I
if
feel like
he
I'm
has
really
if Terrence
missing.
Shannon, if Terrence Shannon ever gets a jump shot, look out, because dude, his first step is
Bad jumper though. I swear he can shoot the ball. I don't know if it's like been apparent this series, but I swear he was able to shoot. In college, he was definitely able to shoot. I
like a
remember.
slasher though. Like I think that like
He's
one of the
crazy
guys
athletic.
like you're okay with. I mean they're putting Wemby on him and just like daring him, but like
Hey, he said he'll go at him.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, it's another case where like one home team gets an upset and in the first game, game two, they just like take care of business, which is what
yeah.
kind of we thought in that which what happened, the Magic Piston series too, right? Like uh
It's funny how like basketball is so psychological sometimes, like especially playoff series. Like we can like just kind of know what's gonna happen at some point. I know obviously like it doesn't always follow the same exact script. But it's funny how like that whole like game one, game two thing is like any we all feel it. Like we all feel that.
Yeah, you got the first one. Timberwolves already. Everyone lets their foot off the gas after they seal the first game. Yeah, it always it happened in
the
like
Spurs have the edge now. Like we lost our home court advantage. We need,
yeah.
take that
It's
shit
like
back.
the Thunder. Thunder last. Remember the Pacers beat you guys in that bullshit in game one.
Like
Tyrese hit
no, that game, the Nuggets series, we won the next game, the second game. That
Aaron Gordon hit that crazy shot in game one, and then
yeah,
you guys just
exactly.
killed him again. Yeah, because they just don't care. Like you did, you took care of business. That's what you say, right? But in
I think it's a
these,
bit of both too. Like the other team is like, we fucked up the game one. We need to make up for it too. So it's like both of those things just lead to a big blowout.
yeah, I mean, you would hope they go into game one with the same intensity that they went into game two. But yeah, I guess psychologically, it's like you don't care as much until you're down. Um,
Mitch
yeah,
Johnson, I like Mitch Johnson. That mic'd up of him like coaching his players. I mean, first of all, my first thought was I hate Kenny Atkinson, but second, I was like this guy's like he's a keeper, man. Like he's a
him
real
being young helps. I think it's easier to connect with these guys. So
Yeah.
uh, that's definitely a thing.
Very passionate for sure.
We'll
Like
see.
should
What
be
do you guys think about this series? Like, do you think it's gonna go seven? You think they're gonna Spurs can win in Minnesota, end it in six? What are you thinking?
I'm leaning towards that Spurs in six, Minnesota Steals, probably game four, maybe. Maybe game three, actually, I don't know.
Oh, so
Uh,
you think? Oh, okay, okay,
I
okay.
think
Then
Minnesota wins one more game.
that would have to happen
I
for
feel
that.
like I don't know, it's tough because like you look at this game too, and you're obviously thinking like the Spurs are a juggernaut. They just had a fluke, but at the same time, it could just be game one is more indicative of the series. So I'm gonna lean like a 7 game series where the Spurs kind of blow them out in game seven. It feels very
Okay,
similar to like Nuggets Thunder from last year. Like that's kind of the vibes it's giving me. I could see Minnesota making like definitely making it a series.
I agree. I think it's gonna be closer than you're saying. So I don't know. Especially when Ant plays normal minutes, Io can get kind of his.
Is he gonna play normal minutes?
I don't know. That is
He
a big
has to. There's no way. I mean, he looked really good in game one. Like he looked like very like like in control when he needed to be, and then like game two they come out so flat. It's hard to I don't know what to make of game two. I'm just gonna chalk it up to like a bullshit game because you can't really analyze anything. It was a blowout from the very beginning. Uh,
Yeah.
so Timberwolves are definitely gonna come out like it's gonna be. I think game three is gonna be very close, like a very good game. So I'm excited for tomorrow.
Should we do wrap it up with our predictions?
Yes, let's do it real quick. Yeah. So why don't you go first? Give me your predictions for this series. Let's start off with Timberwolves Spurs.
Yeah, I got Spurs in six. Yeah, I got Spurs in six. I feel like Minnesota will win three or four and then give it
Okay.
up.
Sai?
Yeah, I'll say Minnesota takes like games 4 and 6, probably makes it like a tight game 7. The Spurs kind of blow them out in game 7.
I'm gonna say Timberwolves win game three. Take it to Spurs win in seven. I think Timberwolves are gonna win game three. Okay. Sahil, how about the Knicks Sixers series?
Oh, I I think Knicks in five is probably feels like the obvious choice here. The Sixers get one hot shooting night at home. They haven't been like Sai said, they haven't been that good at home, so I think Knicks close it out at home in the Garden.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning Knicks in 5 too. It's just and with the Embiid injury, it's really hard to say. Knicks really look just polished like a machine. Their offense has been really amazing lately. Again, a bad shooting like night last night. I think in general, like again, OG is also a big question mark, so you never really know. I think I'm leaning Knicks in 5. They seem pretty dominant here.
I can see it in four too. I'm not gonna lie.
Mm.
I'm gonna go. I totally am swerving that. I'm going Knicks in six. I
Okay.
think just like the Celtics series, we counted them out completely. They showed us close game. Like the Knicks, what game two was close in the Knicks Celtics game. I think actually, I
They
mean,
won
just one.
they won game 2, yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like game two, this game two had very, very similar like vibes.
Lost.
Honestly, surprised they lost.
But
So I'll go Knicks. Say again.
I was just gonna say if the Sixers lost game 2 against the Celtics, it would have been Celtics in 5.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's why.
But I'm not. I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna
No, I
give
mean,
the.
fair. They're a good team. The Sixers are a good team. They
I think they're scrappy. I think they just need to. Yeah, they need to close it out better. Yeah, I'm gonna go Knicks in six. So I do think the Knicks will win in Philadelphia. It'll be like anticlimactic. But yeah, I think the Knicks will win in six. And then Sahil, how about the Lakers Thunder? Or
Yeah, I don't think the Lakers are getting a game, to be honest.
you think Thunder in four? Oh, wow. Okay, okay.
Yeah, I mean, there might be a hot shooting night, but like that's really all you can bank on. And yeah, I think the games will all follow a similar script.
Bron's gonna add another sweep to his resume, Sahil? Is that what we're
Yeah,
predicting?
he's always running to these dynasties. What are we supposed to do?
true.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Lakers in, or sorry, Thunder in 4.
Lakers
I'm going
for
Thunder.
that.
I do
Uh,
think the Lakers will have one
I'm
more.
I just need Shea to show me like not show me anything. He's been great. He's been fine. He's been, fucking double to half court at all these games. Just have the stats.
Poor Shay.
Make
Poor
him look like he
Shay.
had a good playoff run, bro. I'm trying to look for the history books. I'm not trying to make him look like he's a playoff dropper. That's
I
why.
think a 16-2 playoff record will look pretty good in the history books.
That's fair.
Not as good as 16 and 1 though. Okay. Yeah, I will take the Thunder in five as well. I think the Lakers will steal. Not steal. I guess it's honestly stealing, even though it's at home. I think they'll win one. Okay, let's close it out with your favorites. Cavs.
Yeah.
Cavs.
I think the Cavs will win game three, lose game four, lose game five. So I think Detroit in five.
Wait, so you said Pistons
I
and
think the Cavs will win game three, but then drop game four. And I think they can't win on the road, obviously. So
Pistons in 5.
Detroit
Okay.
in five.
I'll go Pistons in 7. I think this is a series.
I agree. I'm going Pistons seven as well.
God, I hope so. I mean, do I hope so? I don't know.
Yeah, come
Yeah, I mean,
on.
I feel like I
Get
don't
edged
want to
even
watch
more,
Game
dude.
7 on the road, James Harden.
Okay. So what? Knicks Pistons and Spurs Thunder. Wow. Okay.
I mean,
You
yeah, I
guys,
think that's
do you guys
like
want to do early predictions for that?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's do it.
Okay.
shit. Okay. Okay, no finals predictions though. But okay,
Why
yeah.
not? Who knows where we're gonna pod next, guys? Come on.
Hey, no, we'll pod next soon. No, no, don't
I
say
don't know,
it.
but a lot could change in the next. Like these are very early
Yeah, yeah.
finals predictions.
Fine, go, Sal.
Why do I have to go first? Knicks. Are we going Knicks Pistons here?
No, fuck it. Let me go first. Let me go first.
Yeah, you go first.
Going Knicks in six over the Pistons.
Okay.
I think they'll win in the no, sorry, they'll win in MSG, I guess, game six. Yeah. I think they'll definitely steal one of the first two games and then they'll win in six. Yeah.
Give me the Pistons in 7.
Wow. Oh.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. If OG's healthy, I think the Knicks will win it.
Dude, yeah. What a fucking Cade matchup that is. OG and McCall and Josh Hart please.
I think the Knicks will
Bring
win.
Duncan Robinson. Jalen Brunson's just gonna get cooked every time. They're just gonna bring Duncan
Are
Robinson.
you seeing how shitty Jalen Durr looks? What's gonna happen when he has Mitchell Robinson and Cat on him?
I'm
Dude,
leaning
Cat,
Knicks
are
in
we
five.
serious?
Well,
I'm
Cat
leaning
is a great help as secondary defender.
He's
We've
not a rim
seen that.
protector.
He's not a rim protector. Mitchell Robinson's there, but Cat's an excellent help defender. He
Dude,
was with Rudy
this
Gobert. Mitchell
this
Robinson.
Detroit offense is just not it, man. Like I don't think they have
Exactly.
have enough to keep up with.
Not good. Like
No,
it's
I have Knicks.
I'm,
I'm
I'm
Knicks at five.
I'm just concerned about like the injury risk a lot of this team too, like OG, Mitchell Robinson. Pistons seem young.
they have
Cade
Tobias
seems
Harris, their second best player right now offensively, bro. What are we
Cade's
talking
the
about?
best player in the East, so I'll give it to
Jalen
him.
Brunson fucking owns Asar Thompson.
I'm still giving to Cade. I think. Yeah. I'll go Pistons in seven. All right,
Okay.
Spurs, Thunder. What do you guys got?
Oh,
You guys can pick the Spurs. Don't do it for me.
no,
Trust me.
I'm not picking the Spurs. I've been pretty consistent on that. I think OKC in six is my pick for that series. I think that they can scheme. I trust Mark like so much, and I think that they'll scheme, especially if Dub's healthy. Like,
Give me
y-
OKC in seven. I'll give it seven. Yeah.
I think I'm also going seven.
It's safe. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just these are definitely the two best teams in my opinion.
that's the finals preview.
And then
Yeah.
I'll go OKC in five against the Knicks. Or
I'm going in four,
fuck.
dude.
I'll go OKC in six against the Pistons.
Wait. So is that 16-2 style overall for you? Yeah,
That's
16
16
for
and
the
two. That's why I
Thunder. Yeah.
said it. That's
Wow.
my prediction.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bro was already preparing to answer all these questions.
I had a conversation about this earlier, so that's why I don't know, man. This feels like a generational team, and I feel like 16
This
and two.
sucks, bro. I need another fucking team to compete with these guys.
The
We
thing
played
is,
the Suns and the Lakers, man. I don't know if we're there yet, you know?
we did say the Pacers were gonna get whooped by the Thunder before the series, didn't we? And then they made a seven, but they
Yeah.
also had Devil Magic, so I don't know.
Yeah, true.
What?
Could have won this.
All right. Well, I think we could wrap it up here. Any last thoughts, guys, before we pod till soon?
Next week. Next week.
Next
Next
week,
Tuesday, guys.
Next week we will pod next week.
we will.
All right, guys. Let's call it there. Thanks so much for listening to the Change Pace podcast. We will be back at you guys soon, at the very latest at the beginning of the conference finals. But we will be back earlier, I hope. I
Yeah.
pray. We'll be back soon. Yeah, follow us on all socials at Change of Pace Pod, Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, etc. And yeah, thank you for listening.